Gem Anarchy. I'm with one of my dearest and oldest friends, Rob Moz. What's going on, Rob?
What's going on, Anarchy? Hey,
So we
first one,
first one, man. We've been talking about this for a long time, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome to Mozzcast. This is something we've been talking about for a long time. We want to do our own podcast about pop culture things. So we're going to talk about what we're into: action figures, cards, Marvel Legends, Super 7, NECA, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the stuff that we enjoy. So that's where we're at, man. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. It's a great time to be a toy collector. I think it's a great time to be a card collector, right?
Absolutely, I totally agree. 1000%. Yes.
So there's so much.
There's comics, there's customs, there's so much we're going to be talking about on this, and really diving into it, and just having fun with it, and I look forward to this.
Me too, man. So we have a lot of history, Rob and I. We go back a lot of years. We've known each other for 25 years. Back when all sorts of toy lines were happening. Spawn and Star Wars relaunched, and I mean that's when we probably really got back into it, right?
Transformers. What was the Beast War?
Beast Wars.
Beast Wars.
Yeah, I watched Beast Wars. Yep.
Yeah.
I liked Beast Wars.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah, it was definitely something different for the time. Yes, absolutely.
I remember going into when Toys R Us opened in Millville, New Jersey, and me and your brother were in line, and your brother was on crutches, and we had to race there was an Elvis impersonator, and we had to race him back to get the new Spawn toys, right? And your brother Frank was on crutches, and I ran back to get, I think Angela was the rare one at the time, and then for Star Wars relaunched, Princess Leia was the rare one in the case. So as we run back, trying to get the new toys, we're racing the Elvis impersonator and his wife, and we did. We beat him. We got Angela. We got the clown from Spawn. We got the Princess Leia's. We got them all, dude. And his wife wanted to beat the shit out of us.
I kind of remember that, and there's numerous other stories I'm sure you're going to tell you and my brother, man.
Yeah.
My brother is definitely one of the pioneers of South Jersey toy collecting, selling. He's definitely been in it. It's his life passion. It's what he does, and I've learned, and Greg has, a lot from him. Through the years.
For sure. There's a lot of good stories, and then right after that, Rob, I remember you got into superpowers. Is that about the same time frame?
I got into superpowers right at the beginning of eBay. Right when pictures were just coming up. Like I got in a little bit before that with the shows with Atlantic City, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I got into, dealing with Mark Huckaboom, which is a name any old Rego head will know. Definitely.
Yes, I know Mark. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
You were buying superpowers off of him, right? Like straight out of brand new cases.
Not so much brand new cases, but he was ahead of his time in the fact that him and his mom went to Canada and bought out gas stations of superpowers, the small cards and other figures, all up in Canada before they were highly collectible.
Nice.
And he also got some of the artwork from the boxes, and he had a lot of rare stuff. Mark definitely was, back in the day, one of the big time guys.
Yeah, and if you wanted something mint, like you look for Mark Huckaboom to buy that stuff, right?
If he didn't have it, you can get it,
right?
That's what he was pre-eBay. That's what it was. You had to know these big toy guys that went to Chicago and all over the country. I mean, I even heard rumors of him hanging with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right.
And stuff like that. But if you wanted figures pre-eBay, pre-internet, you had to know these big toy guys.
And Mark was one of the biggest.
Absolutely. Migos, oh man, he had some of the rarest of rare Migos.
Right. And I, and your brother have a lot of history behind Mego, and Frank had one of the best Mego collections in the world at one point.
Ooh, unbelievable. Two Routes.
Two routes.
Two Routes. I mean, the solid boxes. I mean,
Alter Egos.
The Box Shark,
The Box Shark. Yes, sir.
Two of them. I mean, he had an insane collection. And I had a complete mint and loose Superpower Secret Wars collection.
Wow.
It's mint, complete and loose with all American cards. All American cards besides the ones I couldn't.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I was going to ask you, because I didn't remember how far you got into it. So you had a whole loose Superpowers collection and carded?
And carded, yes, both. In duplicates and all the vehicles, everything. I even had puzzles and had some really. I had the box art from
the Hall of Justice,
Dark Side.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I had the box art from Dark Side, and I should have copied that, and I did. I sold it back in the day for a 4-wheeler. The dummy I am, young and dumb.
I think we both collected something and then just for whatever reason sold for something else. It could have.
Let me tell you this much: whatever you decided to collect, you had the best of. I mean, you had unbelievable Star Wars collections. You had unbelievable Transport collections. You had. We are to walk in your room and my mind would be blown. I mean, it was unbelievable the stuff you would have.
Yes, yeah, and I would go from one thing to the other at the time. Big into Star Wars, Power of the Force, and let me get into something else. Japanese Transformers, because I love
how many yak faces did you have?
I had a lot of yak faces.
Yeah, I know you did. How many coins?
And I had a beautiful carded one on a Power of the Force card I bought from Josh Walensky. Another big toy guy at the time. I'm actually still friends with him on Facebook too, nice. Josh. So shout out to Josh Walensky on this. Maybe at one point I can pull him in and we can talk some history, because he was a nice guy. I remember us doing a lot of deals at the time.
Yeah.
So Superpowers and Secret Wars, probably two of my favorite toy lines of all time, right? Yeah. And I remember walking into a toy show in the late 90s, not late 90s, maybe maybe early 90s, 92, 93. Me and my dad found a toy show just driving around. And I remember walking in and I saw for the first time Iceman, Electro, and Constrictor for Secret Wars.
Wow.
And I remember seeing them, and they were $25 a piece. And I had them.
Back then, that's a lot of money, though.
Yeah. I bought all three. And that was the first time I was familiar seeing those figures. Like, I never knew they existed. And I'm going to throw something else out there with you. You and your brother had a toy show every year. It's a toy show. And I remember, and tell me if I'm wrong, but somebody had an Iceman in a box of other toys or something. And they said, we never went to Canada or anywhere. Like, we bought this Iceman in the United States.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Yes. Yeah. I think it came from KB. Maybe, KB, they had such odd toys. You never knew what you were getting out of KB back in the day.
Right.
They did all the clearance stuff. And didn't you tell me you seen a rare figure in KB?
I did. And to this day, nobody believes me that it existed. And I can't find any proof of it at all. I remember walking in the KB toy store and seeing Han Solo in Stormtrooper gear on a Power of the Force card, right? This thing doesn't exist. It doesn't. It's a figment. It's a figment of my imagination, apparently. But I remember walking into that store, holding it in my hand, and saying, "Man, I wish they had Luke in Stormtrooper gear."
Only if you knew. I mean,
and I remember going. I remember going to the person behind the register and saying, "Do you have Luke too? Because the Han, I want the Luke." And I put the Han Solo back, and never got him, and I didn't get Luke that day either. Luke on the Power of the Force card, but I swear to you that happened.
I totally believe you, Greg. If there's anything about you, is the validity of your collecting has always been honest. You never been one of the fake guys. The I got guys, I call them. I got this and I got that. You know,
Right.
you've always been honest with it, and I truly believe you. And some kid bought that goddamn figure and opened it up and did shit now.
Well, thank you. Nobody else believes me, but I swear to you, it happened. It was
$100,000 figure. Come on, Jesus.
It happened. I swear. Well, thank you for believing me, because nobody else does. Everybody else is going to watch this and say, "You're full of shit." Yeah, I don't think I am, but Yeah. So, two great toy lines that at some point we'll probably delve deeper into. I also have a friend named Dave that is into superpowers as well, so maybe we can have him on. But two of our all-time favorite toy lines that we've both collected, that we're very familiar with. I'm looking forward to deep diving into those lines as well, right? So let's come into the present a little bit. So on your screen is Wolverine there, Marvel Legends, right? We love us some Marvel Legends. Hasbro is just knocking this stuff out of the park.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, leading into Marvel Legends, I hated them for years. I hated, I swore death upon Marvel Legends. I hated, and I got a big collection from a flea market hit. And it changed my whole life with them. Once you really play with them and get them in hand, and wow, they're amazing. They're amazing figures. I can't say nothing bad about them, man. They're just doing great. And well, I'm going to say something bad about them, but right
now. I think they're the best bang for your buck too. Right now, for $20, you get a heck of a nice figure. And I'm doing Marvel Legends very slowly. But I'm really into the X-Men line, the X-Men waves and stuff like that, right? The Spider-Man waves, because Hasbro is just knocking it out of the park, dude. Like,
yeah.
I've collected Marvel Legends a few times over the years, and I was buying when they first came out, the Toy Biz Wave 1. I remember the Captain America and the Iron Man, and then I think there was Toad. Was Toad in Wave 1?
Sure was. Hulk.
Yep. Hulk. Yep. And again, I just did it very slowly. I remember key figures. I remember looking for Iceman. I remember looking for Deadpool when he came out and that kind of stuff. But right now, Hasbro is just, I'm seeing videos from other guys that are doing this. Shout out to the Fwoosh. We love you, Robo. And the Venom Pool Wave is outstanding. The Strong Guy Wave, which I have yet to open, is outstanding.
Yeah.
Well,
one thing I see is Hasbro is very interactive with the community.
They are.
And
yep.
And I don't know if enough people recognize Bug Nice, ACBA, and the art form they brought to this that has advanced these figures because they demand it. They demand the extra heads. They demand the extra arms and hands. And so that when they're doing these displays, man, it's like artwork. I don't know if you follow CBA and their Instagram and their Facebook and Bug Nice in general, but really just advance. I think it had a big deal to do with what Marvel Legends are today. That community in itself.
Right. And I dig a lot, man. There's all the guys doing the pictures and the dioramas and all that kind of stuff. There was a guy last night I saw who built this. It was Star Wars, not Marvel Legends, but the photos he took of this, and he incorporated like the ship from Spaceballs, the van, and but he made it look in the Star Wars universe. Dude, it was outstanding. It was so awesome to see. I'll have to show you pictures. I'll have to find them again.
I would love to see it, yeah.
But those guys that are able to do that, and I've tried. I've tried to take pictures of, and it's very difficult. The lighting, and obviously setting up the dioramas, or buying dioramas, or building dioramas, and you've built some dioramas before too. I just have no artistic talent whatsoever, but a lot of respect for those guys that are able to do that. But that almost brought me more into it, though. Because that's something I'd like to go forward to, is taking pictures and setting up dioramas and stuff like that. And Marvel Legends is, imagine doing like a mansion, professor, like an X-Men mansion, Professor X's mansion, or
Man.
with the bookshelf and everybody standing there, and just there's lots of things we can do. But man, or a Spider-Verse diorama, with or fighting the Sinister Six or something. Spidey fighting the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
Sinister Six. But Legends is killing it, dude. I love my Legends.
Oh, me too. And best bang for the buck. I agree, man. 1,000% I agree.
You gotta.
They really. There he is. I need to get that figure. That's a badass figure, man. I need that badass.
I think there's still one set at my Target.
No.
That 2-pack, and
I just ordered off Target the Storm and the Thunderbird.
Oh, did you get? I did see it in stock. I had a chance to get it, and I just said not that one right now. I'll get it eventually, but that's there's just so much stuff to collect. I'm just picking and choosing what I want to get right now. But and again, that the Old Man Logan and Old Man Hawkeye set was at my Target. I actually have that pre-ordered on Big Bad Toy Store. So I'm waiting for that, but they still had that the other day too.
Wow.
They had all the sets except that the Storm and Thunderbird set that I saw. All the movie stuff, was out there.
That Storm 2-pack isn't going to sit on shelves.
No, I don't think so either.
That Storm is going to be, and one of the things when I said I dislike about Hasbro and Marvel Legends is they're going to reproduce it. They're going to remake it. You're going to pay. Yes. You're going to overpay for it, and then they're gonna slap it out on a retro card for $20 after you just spent 120 on it. And,
right.
I got burned so many times with that with Marvel Legends. That's the one thing.
Yes, that's why I'm taking it slow.
Yeah.
But I love Legends, man. They're just coming out with so much great stuff right now.
Oh yeah, well, just think about that, man. You're buying a case of figures, or you're buying it, 6 or 7 figures or 8 figures from the store, and you're getting one free.
Yes.
You're getting a build figure free. Who's doing that? Who is doing that? Who's giving you something for free? Nobody. Nobody's doing that. And it's usually a brand new sculpt, a badass figure.
Yes.
Something that you could build your collection around. And it could be the newest Build-A-Figures or the older ones. They're all good.
They're all good, dude. Yeah. I mean, Rhino, strong guy. I just
wow.
Just got that wave. I can't wait to open them.
Yeah, I didn't open it yet. Yeah.
There's just so many. I'm looking over Thanos.
One of my all-time favorites, and yours, Pit. And
yeah.
But that's Toy Biz.
Right. I still have my Pit as well. It is a badass figure. The Build-A-Figure Pit. Yes.
Don't have a Pit, go get one. That's all. Good luck getting one. But it's what a badass figure.
One of the best. Yep. That's
I don't know where I put him at, but he's somewhere in here.
Yep. That's straight out of Dale Keown's imagination, dude. That figure is, just looks just like the artwork that he did at the time that he brought that figure, the comic series out. But yeah, man, that is one of the best. I would have to agree. That is probably I have mine over there on the shelf, man. That's a great one.
The scale, the Timmy, the way they sculpted it, everything. If they would have painted the nails, it would be perfect.
Right.
And I see people do it. I don't want to do it to mine, but if the nails would have been black or some kind of painting, then I think it would have been perfect.
Right. And I think the kid Timmy, right, is the little kid's name that he came with. I think
it's.
Yeah, I think they could have did that a little bit better. But when you get such a kick-ass figure like the Pit, like I can overlook the non-articulated Timmy figure. But
and back then.
Back then. Yep.
Toy Biz was just doing stuff just to make money. It was, they found these lines, what was it, out of what, Image? Were they out of Image?
Yeah, I think it was, and I think there was a couple of figures thrown in from someplace else too.
Okay.
And there was a wave 2 with another figure, which I can't remember off the top of my head who it was, but I never got that wave. Monkey Man. Yeah, did you have that one?
I still have that one. Yeah.
Do you? Oh, you got him. Oh shit! I never saw I had bought the Pit Wave at Walmart. I did see that whole wave, and I got them, but I never saw Wave 2 with Monkey Man.
There's a figure in there. Darkness? Is it Darkness? It's escaping me right now, but man, it is a beautiful figure
Is
even
it?
today. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Not a lot of them hold up,
Right.
but just because what Hasbro has done. with
Oh,
these
absolutely.
figures, they just don't hold up anymore. But, I don't think that's something Hasbro's going to touch on is image lines. And maybe, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen?
Yeah. And, I still think there's some Toy Biz figures I'll probably go back and get. I think the Toad from Wave 1 holds up to this day.
It's a static figure.
Yeah.
It wasn't built for Marvel Legends. It was built for a whole different line, but they just threw it in. They threw it into the Wave Series 1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it wasn't really meant to be a Marvel Legends, and that's why the articulation is very limited, and he's holding that frog, and it looks good, but it's not Marvel Legends quality,
Right. And, there's a couple of the first appearance Hawks that I like and stuff like that I think they did a pretty good job on. But, yeah, man, we love us some Marvel Legends. We will do a deeper dive into those as well. But this is just kind of a general introduction to say, hi, I'm, Anarchy, and this is Rob Moz, and we're doing this for fun, and we're going to try to obviously have fun with it, but bring in people that we know and interview and see where we go. But we're going to cover all sorts of subjects on this cast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and that brings us in. I think the next big subject for us, Rob, is for you with basketball cards.
Sure.
Right.
Sure.
So, and you've talked to me about this, and I have some experience for going back years ago, and my dad and I used to collect baseball cards. But I want to talk a little bit about your big purchase here lately, your Zion Williamson card, and what happened with that.
Well, about a little over a year ago, Greg, you know how deep I was into Marvel Legends. I was getting everything.
You were.
Movie, everything. And it got too much. They're pushing too much on you at one time. You couldn't get it. It was hard to get it, and it just frustrated me to where my eyes wandered somewhere else. So
I understand. Yep.
Just out of the blue, before the big craze with these cards, and I just said, Greg, I'm selling most of my collection. I'm getting into cards. And I did.
I remember. Yep.
I took many lumps along the way, and I learned, and I just kept beating myself over the head with YouTube videos and watching breakers. And a breaker is somebody who buys a case of cards or cases of cards, and they put them on a website for sale by team, and then you buy that team, and you get all the cards out of that case for that team.
Okay.
And there's many different ways of doing it. That's just a general breakdown. So I met a couple of breakers, Mikey B cards, man. The guy has taught me a lot. He's more than just a breaker to me. He's a friend.
Okay, cool.
He really guided me early on and what to do and it was never about money or me buying stuff, regardless of me getting into breaks or not, And he taught me a lot. And some of the lines he taught me were, Prism for basketball and Prism for football and Contenders. And, I definitely followed his lead and I enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed buying the cards and chasing the cards.
That's what it's all about. When you get static or just you feel like you don't want to collect something anymore, sometimes you do have to move on to something else.
Yeah. So, with the big Zion thing going on, and I got a pretty nice collection of Zion. I got in early. I got, I got in late last summer, maybe August of 2019, August, maybe July, August. And right before Prism basketball dropped, I got a nice little Zion collection of Prism, which is, something nice to have. And so I always liked the autos, and I went online and I started looking, and I stopped doing breaks for a little while because I seen, it's really gambling. It's just gambling. You can put a lot of money up, and I have, and I lost big. And I put a lot of money up, and I bought single cards, and I've hit them big, like I'm about to show you. went on eBay and hunted down a Contenders auto rookie of Zion, and just off a whim, overpaid a little bit. Honestly, just to be open, I paid $2,500 for this card.
Nice. Right.
It's something I wanted. It's something I, wanted to put in my collection. I wanted to do all the Contenders, and they're beautiful cards to me. They're like work of arts. Decided to send the $2,500 card in of Zion, and it just happened to be my first grading of this card. Came back a Gem Mint 10.
A Gem Mint 10. That's insane.
I don't know what to say about the price of this, or where it should, I've heard people say 30,000. I've heard people say 10,000. I don't know.
So send me a close-up picture of that, and we'll post it for everybody to see a clearer shot of it. That's what a lot of people live for this kind of stuff with toys, for cards. That one big hit, dude.
Yeah.
I think that is a big hit.
No, thank you. Yeah, definitely. I don't know what to do with it. If you're going to watch this video, leave a comment. Leave a comment. What do I do? Keep it? Do I sell it? Do I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. Do I put it up for an astronomical amount of money and see if I can get it? I don't know. I'm enjoying it right now where it is, and I'll make that decision, but I got to do it soon.
So you got the card from eBay. You saw it was a nice card, right? You looked at it, and you're like, I got to get this thing graded. And you used PSA was the grading service, I guess. Sure.
Yeah, they have different levels of grading, and I like I said again, when I want to learn something, I dive into it and I try and immerse myself into it. So I learned how the grading process worked, how to send a card, how to clean a card, how to check the card. I bought a tool to magnify and light the card so I can see for scratches in the corners really close, because that's how when they grade it, they're going to magnify it and they're going to light it. And, they want to see everything on the card.
Right.
So I did that, and I did the process. I used a upper level service. It's called the Express level, and it was pricey, $125, with shipping and everything. And I sent it in, and the email came in saying, "Would you like to know the grade of your card? Click here if you wouldn't." So I didn't want to know. I was going to wait. But my wife, she couldn't wait. So she looked at it, and she didn't say nothing, to her credit.
Wow.
But I had to look. And I never thought I'd get a 10, double 10.
That's crazy.
One. From what I've seen, there's only one of these in existence at this. You know what I mean? So.
And you got it.
I got it. Yeah. I know.
So let me ask you this, because I'm trying to learn a little bit more about cards in general as well. And as you know, I collected baseball cards years ago, and I have a book with all sorts of Topps cards, Don Mattingly and Mike Schmidt and Wade Boggs, and I have a lot of their rookies too. But if you got that Zion Williamson card back, it was graded an 8. Would you have lost money on it?
Well, when I sent it in, you can ask for, if it grades under a 9 or under a 10, you could not to grade it. They still charge you, but I wouldn't. If it was an 8, it wouldn't have been graded.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, I would have probably lost money at 8.
Right. Okay, so at that point, if it was, then you would just probably put it on eBay or whatever and say, "Look, this is Zion Williamson autograph. You're pay for, just bid it. Have people have a bidding war, and they'll pay whatever they want for it, basically."
Sure,
right?
Sure. Yeah, be as honest as possible.
Right. Yes.
The thing about PSA, they don't tell you what's wrong, so it ain't like I can go say, to me it looked great.
Right.
So it ain't like I could say, all right, this is what's wrong with it. So I would never jeopardize myself unless if I knew I would. If I don't, then I won't. Why would I make an assumption?
Right. So do fingerprints still cause the value to go down?
Absolutely. That's why you have to clean the card.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
especially with the new prisms and the shiny silvers. And man, they're so sensitive cards. They scratch so easily, and they fingerprint very easily. You know, usually on them cards, the corners and the edges tend to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You got to watch the centering is really big. Where back in your day, centering didn't matter.
Okay.
You know, you were collecting. Centering is really big, and you really got to do some research and learn how to clean a card. You know, learn how to really. If you're going to send it in to get graded, if it's in your collection, do as well. You know, if you're happy, you're happy. You know.
Right. Now, when me and my dad were collecting years ago, I remember, you know, if you went to sell a card or something, the guys would always look at the fingerprints on the card, right? So, me and my dad were not careful. We take the cards out of the pack. So I would bet you money most of my cards have, even from years ago, still have our fingerprint on them, and we would just put them in a sleeve. Like, we didn't take any protection of wearing gloves or anything. We obviously didn't know how to clean the cards or anything like that. But, yeah, so it's a little bit different, I guess, from back then. And back then, it was Topps was one of the biggest, even though
Sure.
I think for many years they just weren't worth anything. And I want to talk a little bit about that too. The value on everything, baseball, basketball, football, has seemed to skyrocket since COVID or within the last year. What do you think about that?
There's a guy out there named Gary V, and Gary V. I'm not saying he manipulates the market, or he's just very knowledgeable. And he, like I say, I submerge myself in the stuff. He definitely takes it a step above that. And there's a lot of guys that follow him, and including me. You're not saying I would agree or whatever. I don't necessarily take what he says as Bible like some people do, but
He's a good source of knowledge.
he makes sense. It makes sense what he's saying. You know, he's like, you're going to pay this much for Zion when Magic Johnson is doing this much. You know, why? Why isn't Magic Johnson's proven? You know,
Right.
He's a proven guy. Why isn't he worth more than Zion? And it was a definite backlash on the vintage side of this. When I got in a year ago, if I invested the money I put into new cards into old cards, I'd be very well off right now. You know what I mean? Like even Michael Jordan prior to the Last Dance documentary and all that. You know, it was definitely like I said. I was learning. I didn't know, and you got to build your collection how you want to build it.
Of course.
I decided not to go back. There's too much. It's so much to collect. I just wanted to stay with the new rookies and move forward, and I still do that. You know.
Okay. Right. So we talked about this years ago, way before the value of these cards has skyrocketed or whatever. But I remember talking to you in 2014, 2015, 2016, saying, "Man, baseball cards are worthless, dude. I don't know what to do. I think I'm just going to throw these cards out." And but this value on everything on people are buying cases of these cards that come into Walmarts and Targets. And I was talking to a guy, I know I've told you this, but who drives up and down the Parkway and hits all the Walmarts. When the cases come in, he just buys them. Right?
That's called a flipper. You know, he's called a flipper. So he's just buying out. As every Target, every Walmart has an independent person from Topps and Panini, the two big brands out there that come and load their shelves with stock.
Right.
Once you get to know their schedule, you know, you could be there when they're there and buy everything. There is no limit to how much you can buy. So I can't say, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I hate them guys. I don't, because it's a hustle. They're hustling.
Right.
You know, it's a hustle. They're doing their hustle. They're doing their thing. I've been on that side of it, the scalper side of it, you know, where you're doing it to make money. I don't, you know, whether people think they're just doing it to be facetious, you know, mean. I'm not sure.
yeah, I got you.
Or just taking advantage of the situation. You know, they're doing it to make money in the end.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And they lie about it when they're there. They'll say, "Oh, it's for my kids' football team." Get out of here.
Yeah. Haven't we all done that before, though? You know, oh, is that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle for your kid? Yes. Donatello is for my kid.
I swear to God, I was in Target the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Target and I'm looking for football cards are all gone. Baseball cards are all gone. So I go over there. All right, G.I. Joe. Let me see if I can find some G.I. Joe. That's 6-inch.
Yeah.
Unicorn they call G.I. Joe that you can never find.
Exactly. Yep.
Guess what? There's a guy over there has all 8 a full case of G.I. Joe. I'm not sure which figures they were there. He has all of them. And he's at the counter in the back where they have electronics, and he's talking to the young kid working behind the counter, and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on with these football cards and these baseball cards? How come I can't buy any? That isn't fair. While you're buying out all the friggin' G.I. Joe on yourself."
He knew what he was doing. That dude knew what he was doing. Oh man.
Or Destro's, really? Like, come on, man. While you're buying all the G.I. Joes, you're complaining about all the football cards being gone.
You just want to kick his knee out, the back of his leg out, so he drops the case, and you grab him and run out the door.
I wanted to say something so bad because he's razzing on this kid, and this kid's just like, man, I don't know.
That's funny.
It is what it is. But I just, I always call it the 5-second rule. Give it 5 seconds to 5 minutes, and you'll never see this guy in your life again.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Move forward.
Wow. So you came that close to a case of G.I. Joes.
Yes. Yeah. Could have been Cobra Troopers. I don't know.
I was going to say, I wonder if it was the Cobra Troopers, the Cobra Island Cobra Troopers. That's funny, dude.
I think it was actually the Beachhead Wave with Beachhead and who else was in there?
That's that wave. I think it was Beachhead, Roadblock, yes, and the Cobra Trooper. Yep.
Well, he bought them all.
Now the wave after that is whatchamacallit, Gung Ho, Red Ninja, and Cobra Commander.
I got lucky. I have a buddy, Ron, who's in Minnesota, who I met through cards. Mm-hmm. Really nice guy. And he actually lives, he said he could throw a stone and practically hit target from where he lives.
Oh,
so he
nice.
went on G.I. Joe release day and got me beachheads, like 4 beachheads, and I had them shipping to me. And I flipped on eBay. That's what
cool.
I do. I don't have one.
Shout out to Ron. Thanks, Ron.
and another good buddy of mine named Keith, he is learning cards. It's fun to see. I don't want to lead him the wrong way, but there's cards that he should buy, and he does, and he makes good decisions. And I'm curious just to watch his collection grow, and it's fun to see him pick my knowledge and pick my brain, and he does, and I appreciate it. Yeah.
See, I have a definite interest in this kind of stuff, but I have an addiction. If I buy something, then I keep buying and buying until I have no money left. But at some point, I'm going to hit you up, and I'm going to get in on this as well. But I think the best thing we can come out of all of this is have fun, right? Just have fun. Buy what you like, buy what you want, and just have fun with it.
Yeah, the card thing is so. It started with just this and just that, and now it's this and that and this and that and this and that. It keeps growing because as you get more and more, you just fall in love with them, man. They're so beautiful, the cards, and you want these rookies, and and I'm doing all the wrong things. I know I am, and I just gotta. I reevaluate my collecting all the time, and and that's just through knowledge, to listening to people, watching videos, and just immersing myself in this hobby. Still,
cool.
Is it's fun. I'm having fun with it, and I'm hopefully I don't lose a lot of money.
Well, years ago, I can just imagine what they're like now, because years ago you had Topps, Fleer, and Dunross, right? So if you wanted a higher level card or a better card or a nicer looking card, you would go to the Donruss, right? Or even the Fleer or Upper Deck. Yeah, Upper Deck. And those cards back then were like off the charts compared to Topps. Topps was a very basic card, right? So now you get, like you're explaining to me the silver and the shininess, and you get an autograph and memorabilia or a piece of their jersey or something, right? Like, I don't ever remember Topps doing that back then.
No.
Right?
That was That was a mid to late '90s. I think Topps started the refractor trade craze where they put a shiny card in there. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure, but they came out with a product called Topps Chrome,
Oh,
and
okay. Oh, nice.
they put a refractor in there where it shines different, a little different than all the other cards, and people went nuts for it.
Oh, I bet. Yep.
And then Panini bought, the rights to football and basketball, and they short print the cards. They make great inserts, and they even short print the inserts. And they super short print the cards, and they serial number the cards now, and it's definitely a lot of ways to collect in this, and it's a lot of variety, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
having a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
That's good, and that's what you need to do in something like this, is just have fun with it. If you and I both, if we stop having fun with something, we stop. Like, and go to collect something else. But
we both had massive comic collections.
Yes.
We both had massive toy collections. We both
yes.
had numerous comic and toy collections. And cards, and it's just in our blood. It's in our blood, and it's what we love to do. And I know you have I know you do something a little different. You're on that custom. I was there too. The customs are works of art.
Oh, the customs. Nice leeway into that. I almost forgot about customs today.
Oh no.
We're going to get into a lot of customs on this channel because Rob and I have both collected Amigo-like customs. To be specific, I am really hardcore right now into Charlie Flat customs. If anybody just Googles Charlie Flat, you'll go to I know Charlie personally. I'm good friends with him. I run his website, charlieflat.com. You can just Google Charlie Flat, and I think it's the first entry in the Google search engine will come up will be charlieflat.com. Just click the main logo, you go into the site, and you can see a lot of Charlie Flat's work. But we will be getting into that. There's other guys as well that do tremendous work. Rob has collected all those guys. Rob has collected Captain Amigo and Type 3 Toys and Black Knight Customs. So hopefully we can get into that. I know a bunch of those guys. I know that Type 3 Toys, John Farley, would be more than willing to come on and talk to us if we wanted to. Mr. Flat himself would be more than willing to come on and talk to us. I am, really looking forward to that as well. He's had a rough time over the last year or so, but he's getting back on his feet, and he's making some good stuff right now. So, but I will have maybe next time I'll pull out a couple flats that we can show on camera, and we can talk about them. You owned flats before. You were big into customs as well.
Very big. Very big.
Before Legends. That was before Legends.
Yeah.
Yep. So we'll definitely get into that. There's the custom world is its own beast of a topic, right? I'm sure people are familiar with a lot of stuff that we're going to mention on this channel, but Casting Cave is doing these gorgeous Star Wars heads and Legends heads, and he had a Clint Eastwood on there the other day, and it looked phenomenal. But Casting Cave had this gorgeous Han Solo head. Now, if anybody's collecting Star Wars The Black Series, you know that the Harrison Ford sculpt is very, very hard to capture, right? But you buy a Black Series Han Solo and you buy a Casting Cave head and you have the perfect Han Solo. But the custom market itself is just huge. It's enormous, right? Rob's been knee deep into this stuff. I'm knee deep into it now. And
I curse you for it now. You show me, and I curse you for it, man. I don't want to get into it.
You will be into Black Series soon, sir. You will be into Black Series soon.
I know. I don't want to.
And Legends, the Rebel 10 Customs and Super Tom Customs, and they're all making, parts and capes. And you and I both bought a Dr. Doom set on eBay from GPS Lot, I believe, right?
Sure. Yeah.
And this piece, this cape from GPS Lot makes this Dr. Doom look like a $100 figure. Right? I actually have it right here. Hang on.
Wow.
So I mean, look at this thing, dude. This thing is outstanding.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a great figure anyway, but man, you put that cape on him,
Yeah. I
and
agree.
dude, this is like $100 custom figure.
Just like these Wolvie claws right here.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
metal. They're metal.
Yep,
They're
they're
metal.
the custom right on screen this whole time. You know, we have a custom thing right in front of me, and I almost forgot about customs to discuss, but that's a whole nother beast that we are delving deep into on this channel.
With the newer stuff, it definitely, you can have a unique collection, you know, because you can pick and choose who you buy from. There's lots of people doing it. You find what you like and you go with it, you know, and there's no wrong way to do it.
Right.
You know, it's what you like, you know, with the custom stuff today. With the custom stuff, the Charlie Flat and the Captain Migo, and who I was really big into, the John Farleys, they're pieces of art to me. They're not.
They are.
Like, you're not going to go throw it to your son to go play, run around the house with. You know, it's when you get it in hand, it's only going to tell you you'll understand what I'm saying. They're artwork. They're actual artwork.
You're right. And even something as simple as the claws, the metal claws in Wolverine, those metal claws take that Wolverine up definitely a big notch, because the flimsy claws it came with, you pop the metal claws on, it makes it just, it's already a great figure, but makes it even better figure.
And you have to understand the restraints of Hasbro and price point that they got to hit, and also probably legal stuff, you know.
Right. Yeah. Imagine a kid cutting themselves on them claws. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, you know, swallowing a metal claw.
Right. Yeah, that would not be good. You know, this is what Deadpool has to say about that.
I love Deadpool.
So, yeah, man. I mean, the claws are not that expensive. I think at the most, I think I saw $20 a set, something like that. And they're kind of a little bit of a pain to put on, but you know, you can get them on, you know, relatively easily. You might struggle a little bit, but they do go on. And but the problem is, when you have 5 Wolverines, now you want 5 sets of claws.
It gets a little expensive. Customs get a little expensive, yes.
It does. So,
but like I said, you can find cheap stuff out there.
Yeah.
You know, if that's what you want to do, you know, if you want to go with a newer guy, maybe a relatively unknown guy, maybe a learning guy, you can get stuff pretty cheap.
Yep.
You know, but when you want to get...
Or buy a cape, you know, it's not going to set you back that much. And look what it does to the figure, man. It's just...
Oh, outstanding. Outstanding.
You know, it's crazy.
That's so much life.
Awesome. Just... we will post links to all these guys we're talking about. I'll post links underneath the video. So GPS Lot, you know, Rebel 10 Customs, and I'll post links to, you know, Charlie Flat and the guys that actually have websites. I'll see if we can't post underneath for people to view. But the custom stuff is I think going to be big for us, Rob. That there's lots of stuff to talk about. There's lots of stuff to show, and we will definitely get into that.
Yeah, definitely new release stuff, and you know, we're going to be all over the place with this.
We are.
We don't know which direction it's going quite yet, but we'll find out. We'll find out. And you know, whatever we're having fun with, we'll make. You know, and I'm good with that.
And I've always wanted to get into Masterpiece Transformers, right? I actually have a friend on Facebook. He's one of my best friends growing up, and you know, life got in the way and we lost contact for a little bit. Then we became friends on Facebook, and we talked back and forth a little bit. But I'd like to have him on. He's big into the Masterpiece stuff, Masterpiece Transformers. So maybe he can give us some guidance on if somebody wants to start collecting Masterpiece, where to start. Because you buy a Masterpiece, and a month later a newer one comes out, or a third-party one comes out. Like, how do you... I don't know how to manage that stuff.
That's a big thing with Masterpiece Transformers is the third-party stuff sometimes even better.
Yes.
You know, it's...
Yep.
Definitely something to talk about later. You know,
awesome.
That's a huge conversation. And also, don't forget, one of the big things that you're into is gaming. You know, you're really into gaming. You know, that's another avenue that we have. Yeah, I'm a definite part-timer. You know, I'll play for 2 months and don't play again for a year. You know,
but you'll play for 2 months every day.
Yeah, I'll put. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's another whole big subject. But the new Xbox Series X coming out and the PlayStation 5s, the pre-orders are a mess. Like all the pre-orders have been a nightmare for almost everybody to get. But just a nightmare. They're not making enough for everybody on launch. People are paying $1,000 on eBay right now for a system because they can't get a pre-order. It's a mess right now. That's
an old sales strategy, though. That's make a product in demand and it's being talked about, whether it's negative or positive. It's still being talked about.
Yep, and believe it or not, when the new toys come out and people can't get the new toys, the new gaming systems were just like that, dude. People use bots to get all the pre-orders. So before they were supposed to launch on a certain day, and then the time came, you never saw them. They never came in stock. And they were already sold out because people use these stupid bots to buy all the pre-orders. And then the sites crashed and you couldn't get on. Dude, it's a mess right now. So
there's a hustle. There's a hustle out there, and people are going to find that hustle and they're going to make money off of it.
Oh yeah.
And it's not limited to toys. It's not limited to gaming systems. I'm sure Lysol's with that right now. Go try and buy some Lysol for eBay right now.
Yeah.
There's a hustle out there, and people are there's always going to be an entrepreneur out there trying to make a buck, man. A flip. And if you sometimes, I don't have a hate on it. I appreciate it. It sucks, but I get it. I get it.
I get it too. It's, in a way, I always thought it was fun to run a Target, and you get lucky and you run into a new G.I. Joe, or you find the Cobra Trooper. My wife went and found a Cobra Trooper, and you actually found me 2 of those figures too from that wave.
Sure,
right?
Sure.
And but it's the fun about it, dude. Even the aggravating parts about it, it's still kind of fun,
Yeah, I know. It gives you purpose in life.
Yeah. So yeah, this has always been fun for both of us. So
absolutely.
We got a lot of places to go on this channel, and we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to have a lot of guests. We're going to talk about cards. We're going to talk about figures. We're going to talk about gaming. We're going to talk about Transformers, and we're going to have fun with it.
And we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to do everything, and it's going to be fun.
It is. There will be a lot of mistakes, probably.
Yes. I thought I would be a lot more nervous doing this, but I'm really, you definitely, being on with a good guy like you, man, makes it a lot easier.
Same here, man. The Mozzcast. I chose that name and we put the Anarchy symbol. Anarchy is the name I've used on internet forums over the years. It has nothing to do with taking over the government or whatever. I just like the name.
Early on.
Early on, yeah. But the Mozzcast is about friendship, and it's about doing this with one of my dearest, oldest friends. So, Rob, I think we're good on episode 1. A nice general introduction of things.
Sure. Yeah, I agree.
And man, this was fun, dude. We will do an episode 2, and we'll see everybody later. Rob, is there anything you want to add?
Man, if it makes you happy, do it. If it doesn't, then don't. That's all.
Yeah. And I'm gonna quote you. It is what it is.
If it makes you happy, do it. If it doesn't, then don't.
Absolutely. I second that. All right, guys, we're out, and we're going to try to do this once a week, and we will talk to you later.
Peace.
Mozzcast out. Later, guys.
Later.